Welcome to Breakup Cheater, where the untold stories of betrayal, heartbreak, and human resilience come alive. Tonight's story is one of love turned cold, a betrayal laid bare, and a revenge served not with fury, but with elegance. I knew something was wrong the moment I stepped into our home that evening. It wasn't the silence, it was the way the silence felt. Heavy, loaded, like a room full of unspoken words pressing against the walls. "Clara," called, setting my briefcase by the door. No answer. Only the faint hum of the refrigerator and the ticking of the clock. The house was too neat, too still, like someone had staged it for a picture, except for one thing. Her phone glowing on the kitchen counter, a text message lighting up the screen. "Same time tomorrow. Can't stop thinking about last night." My stomach turned. My fingers hovered over the screen, my heartbeat roaring in my ears. It wasn't my message. I read it again and again, hoping it would change, hoping it wasn't what it looked like. For 6 years, Clara had been my world. The woman I built dreams with. The one I defended against every doubt my family ever had about our whirlwind marriage. She was my partner, my confidant, my home. I walked upstairs, each step heavier than the last. When I opened our bedroom door, I saw her sitting on the edge of the bed, scrolling through something on her laptop, a faint smile playing on her lips. She looked up. "You're home early." That smile, once my favorite thing in the world, now felt like a knife. "I saw your phone," I said quietly. Her face went pale, then blank, as though a mask had been ripped off. "You went through my phone." "No," I said, my voice barely a whisper. "It was right there. And so was the message." For a moment, there was silence so thick it choked us both. The conversation that followed was every betrayed spouse's nightmare. At first she denied. Then, when my questions pierced through her flimsy lies, she sighed, exasperated, as if I were the one inconveniencing her with my hurt. "It just happened, Daniel," she said finally, tears welling up in her eyes. "I didn't plan this." "Who is he?" "A client," she whispered. "Client? From her firm. Someone who was supposed to be just business." I wanted to scream. I wanted to break something. But instead, I just sat down in the armchair by the window and stared at her, because the weight of betrayal doesn't hit like thunder. It settles like dust, suffocating and slow. That night I didn't sleep. Neither did she. We lay side by side, but it felt like miles of ice separated us. By morning I knew one thing. I couldn't let this destroy me the way it wanted to. Revenge wasn't my style, not the loud, angry kind. But there's a quiet kind. Precise, calculated kind. And I knew exactly how to do it. Over the next week, I played the role of the heartbroken, confused husband, because I was. But behind that mask I was working. I spoke to a lawyer, quietly. I moved half of our savings into an account under my name. Legally. I gathered every message, every call log, every hotel receipt she thought she'd hidden. And most of all, I stayed calm. Because rage burns fast, but strategy endures. When the showdown finally came, it wasn't a screaming match. It was dinner. She came home to the table set. Her favorite wine, pasta the way she liked it. She looked surprised, even touched. "I thought we should talk," I said. Halfway through the meal, I slid a folder across the table. "This is everything. The texts, the receipts, the timeline. I know everything, Clara." Her fork froze midway to her lips. "I'm filing for divorce," I said softly. "You'll keep your car. I'll keep the house. We split the savings the way the prenup says. Clean. Simple." She stared at me wide-eyed. You're not even going to fight for me?" I almost laughed. "Fight? I already fought, Clara. I fought for us when you gave up. Now, I'm just reclaiming my dignity." The days that followed were strange. She tried to reach out. Texts, calls, tearful voicemails. At first, she was angry, accusing me of being cold, heartless. Then she shifted. Apologies, promises it was just a mistake. But I had already stepped off the battlefield. I wasn't interested in punishing her anymore. I was interested in building a life without the constant fear of betrayal hanging over me. 3 weeks later, the real blow landed. Not for me, for her. The client she had risked everything for? He ghosted her. Turns out, she wasn't the only one in his rotation. And because word travels fast in her firm, especially when screenshots find their way to the right inbox, her reputation crumbled. Projects reassigned. Invitations withdrawn. She texted me one night, a single message. I lost everything. I stared at it for a long time before replying. So did I. Difference is, I'll recover. It wasn't about money. It wasn't even about the divorce settlement, which, thanks to the prenup, left her with far less than she expected. It was about walking away without the screaming, without the begging, without the drama. Just a clean cut that left her to sit with the weight of her choices. That was my elegant revenge. Not to destroy her, but to refuse to be destroyed by her. 6 months later, I stood in the same kitchen, sunlight spilling over the counters, brewing coffee in quiet peace. No more hidden phones. No more gnawing doubt in the pit of my stomach. Just space. Just quiet. People often think revenge means fire, explosions, chaos, a storm of rage. But the truth, the most devastating revenge is silence. Dignified, deliberate silence that lets the other person watch you rebuild without them. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, or if you've ever found strength in the silence after heartbreak, share your thoughts below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more tales where shadows fall and truth always finds its way to the surface. Only on Breakup Cheater.